Okay, let's talk about waist hooping in side stance. First, I'll show you what that looks like, then we'll break it down. Okay, so just like with forward stance, in side stance, we want to make sure that our posture is good. We're standing up nice and straight, our shoulders are back, and our knees are soft. Just like in forward stance, we want to make sure that the hoop, we're starting the hoop up against our waist in the back at our natural waist area, not too high, not too low. We want to make sure that we have a nice, strong, and stable grip on the hoop, and we do that by keeping our elbows in close at our side body. That is a very different feeling in our hands than if our arms were way out like this. This is going to give us a firm foundation, a good place to push from. So we think about our push. We want it to be a nice flat push parallel to the ground, not starting crooked at all because it's very difficult to recover from that. We're going to give it a push that's going to let the hoop go around our body several times without us even trying to keep it going. Like that. You notice I didn't do some giant wind up of a push. It's just taking my arm, my elbows in close to my side body, and moving that arm in towards my stomach in a way that has enough force to keep the hoop going. Okay, we've got the nice flat push, we've got our posture is good, our knees are soft, and we're going to think about our stance. In side stance, our feet are wider than hip width apart. And now our motion for keeping the hoop going is going to be side to side. In forward stance, we talked about our power points being to the side of our belly button at the top of our forward leg and at a corresponding place diagonally behind us at the top of our opposite hip. This time our power points are going to be on the sides of our waist. Those are the points that the hoop is going to hit in its rotation. That is where we are going to give it a push, give it a bump to keep that momentum going. Review, we've got strong posture, standing up nice and straight, shoulders are back, knees are soft, our elbows are in close at our side body. We're going to give it a nice, strong, flat push, and we're going to move our hips rapidly from side to side. Very nice. If that's not working for you, a couple troubleshooting tips. One is you might not be moving your hips fast enough. Oftentimes we start off with our waist hooping and we underestimate how much we need to move. Part of that is from watching folks who have been waist hooping for a long time. It looks like we hardly move, and that's true, but that's not how you start out. When you start out, you really have to move a lot because you're teaching your body what those muscular motions are that are necessary to keep that hoop going. So when in doubt, wiggle faster. Definitely an exaggerated movement when you're starting out. Another troubleshooting point is you might be watching the hoop. Try not to watch the hoop. It does not help, and it sends our bodies out of alignment. So I'll show you what it looks like. When I look down to watch the hoop, it sends my butt out, and that sends the hoop right down. So try and break the habit of watching the hoop. Stand up nice and straight, find something high on the opposite wall or ceiling or someplace in the distance to look to try and keep your posture upright and keep yourself from watching the hoop. Another thing is you might try closing your eyes. That can be really helpful for folks. When the visual distraction is eliminated and your body is just feeling where the hoop is, it knows when to give that push, oftentimes. So you might play around with that. Also, when you get comfortable with this, or even before you get comfortable with it, try sending the hoop in the other direction. We really always want to balance things out for our muscles and even as importantly for our brains. It will likely feel very foreign, very different in the other direction. That's okay. Be patient with it. Let yourself learn it in both directions. You will be glad you did. Both of these, the forward stance and the side stance, are both tools for your body and your brain to learn how to interact with the hoop. Eventually, You'll have such success waist hooping that the stance you're in really won't even matter. But until that time, these are tools that can be very helpful. People have a good record of finding success with the side-to-side motion and the front stance, forward and back motion. So play around with both of those and be patient with yourself. Have fun with it. Enjoy your hooping and side stance.